Hey, Selfam. Buenos dias, I believe. Yes. Buenos dias. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and today I'll be doing a get ready chit chat video. So if you want to get ready with me, just continue watching. I obviously washed my face, and then I just got this Wet n Wild Mega Glow multi-use oil. I don't know, hopefully you guys can see it. It's I guess a daily use of oil, and then I put after that I let it sit for like 2 to 3 minutes on my face, and then I moisturized my face. So now I'm gonna get started with my eyebrows. So I've been super MIA. My kids went back to school. This is their second week of school already. They're going to school, then they're doing ABA when they come home from school for 2 hours. My daughter's going to school for 3 hours. My son Damien is going to school for, what is it, like 6 hours, and then comes home to do ABA. And then my son Fernando as well. He doesn't do ABA, but he's going to school from 8:15 to 2:50. So it's been super hectic for me trying to record with this cramped up schedule. You know what? Let me do my eyebrows off camera and then I'll come back. Okay, that took way longer than I expected to. I have not done my makeup in weeks. You know, when you stop doing it for a while and you try to do it again, it's like jacked up. That was me right now. So anyways, as I was saying, my schedule, my kids' schedule has been an entire chaos lately since school started. I'm using this eyeliner by Wet n Wild, by the way. It's called, the shade is Cosmic Black. This is what it looks like, and I'm gonna struggle again. Oh, but first I need to prime my face. But yeah, and just yesterday they changed my son's schedule for ABA again. So now I'm trying to work on them giving me the same hours as my daughter has, at least Tuesdays and Fridays, because my daughter gets out at 11:30, and Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday she has ABA from 1 to 3, and I think that's good because I'm all calando mi cara. Because she gets bored after a while being here home alone with me. So Tuesdays and Fridays she has a different therapist that comes to work with her, and she comes a little bit later, so I was hoping that she could come the times that they put for my son now. I'm looking for this. Okay, so the one that I primed with right now was the Dewy Luminous face primer from Wet n Wild, and now I'm going to use the LA Colors face primer to minimize pores. So yeah, I'm looking back there because I'm looking through the mirror. I'll just put this one up. So it's been next to impossible for me to actually pick up the camera and record because it's been meltdowns. Oh, and we had inspections. They gave us a letter last week telling us that this whole week they were going to be doing inspections, and they actually came when I wasn't here yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, by the way. I wasn't here, so they came to change the air filter and they did the inspection. which was I was so freaked out about because my son made a hole in the wall. He made quite a few holes, but they were little. The last one he made was like this size. So I was freaking out that they were gonna see that, what they were gonna tell us. I ended up going to Walmart to buy stuff to fix the holes. We tried patching it up, but since my son was here, he kept picking at it, so he wasn't letting it dry, he wasn't letting it mold the way it was supposed to. So we covered the hole, but it's still like noticeable that there was a hole right there. So we left the doors open, the blinds kind of open, and when I mean the doors, I mean the closet doors and the room doors. So hopefully they didn't move the doors for them to see the damn hole there. But I'm so nervous that they did see it because we weren't here, obviously. Let me go wet my beauty blender and I'll be back. So yeah, that was our current situation. Like I said, I hope they didn't see anything. If Ice is a little bit more time to fix the hole good. And if they did, the rent is due pretty soon, so I'm pretty sure they're going to want to talk to me. So yeah. But I'm trying to organize myself so I can start doing videos again. Especially now that I have like 3 hours to myself in the mornings. Because Aliyah gets out at 11:30, so from 8 to 11:30ish I'm by myself at the house. I am using the Beauty Creations Sugar Sweets palette. Hopefully this thing is in focus because I can't even see. I also want to start doing mukbangs. I've been dying to try a seafood boil, like make it myself. I've made them before, but just with corn, potatoes, boiled eggs, shrimp, and sausage. I tried lobster tail and snow crab legs when we went to San Diego to try a place over there. It's called Shrimp Heads. It was good, but now I want to try to make it myself here at the house. Okay, so now I'm gonna try the eyeliner, which I'm super nervous about. If I struggle too much, I'm just gonna cut that part out and you'll see from after that step. Okay, so I did baby wings. It was a lot easier than I expected. So a big thumbs up on this Wet n Wild Mega Liner. It's metallic, and that's what I noticed when I was applying it. It's not jet black, it's metallic. So I'm gonna have to go back and pick up the black one, but I mean, this is not bad. You can see some type of glitter on it, but nothing too crazy. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using and mixing the Superstay Full Coverage Foundation and the CoverGirl Outlast Active foundations. Oops. This one is too dark for me. This one is too light for me because this is my summertime. This one I just was way off. So I mix these foundations. That's how that foundation looks. So I'm going to be putting concealer under my eye, but not to highlight. It's to neutralize the darkness under my eyes. And I'm using the Infallible Full Wear Concealer. So, my kids have been doing ABA therapy for about I want to say over 2 months now. 2 months for me is such a little time to notice any difference in my kids. But let me tell you, when I noticed a huge difference on Damien, it blows my mind. Because Damien, he was, I want to say was, because he has words now. He was nonverbal, no words in his vocabulary. He would babble a lot, but words, he had none. Like, he used to have them when he was little, but he had no words. His way of communication was grabbing us by the hand and pulling us to wherever or whatever he wanted. And if he couldn't get our attention or express what he wanted through that, he would move on to pinching, scratching, hitting himself and others, bumping his head on the wall, because he would get frustrated from, oh, I think I'm out of focus, because he would get frustrated from not being able to make himself be understood. So from going to that to now using sign language, using words, the frustration being very minimal now, I am just, blown out of my mind to see the difference that ABA has provided for my children. Because Aaliyah was a little less aggressive. She's very rough. She's a rough player, and she's very corajuda. But to be frustrated because she couldn't get herself understood was nothing compared to how my son Damien gets, or would get. I mean, he still does that at times, but it's nothing compared to how he used to get. Aaliyah has a lot more words now. She's very, very independent. She goes by her schedule. She learns words every day. She tries to teach Damien now. So, I mean, I see a difference in both of them, like a huge, huge difference. So, for all my autism parents, if I have any viewing me, ABA can be a bad thing to some people, and it can also be a good thing to others. To me, in my personal experience with ABA, I've had good and bad. My kids were in early intervention when they were little because they were going through the whole process of being red flagged as having autism. So they did early intervention. I don't know if it was bad to the point where we weren't used to that type of therapy. We weren't used to that discipline. And then the fact that my kids weren't on ABA at the same time back then. Either Damien was on it and Aaliyah wasn't, then Aaliyah was on it and Damien wasn't anymore. So it was kind of hectic to have one of your children be provided with ABA and then having to have the other one out of the session, but you also have to be in the session with your other child. That was so stressful for me. So that kind of made me get a bad impression about ABA. But but I still, the teachers would tell me, you know, try ABA with your children. My son was nonverbal. He was very frustrated at times, and I didn't want to take that from him just because I wasn't feeling comfortable with ABA or the way they were running it back then. So, like I said, back then was early intervention. They graduated from that. Then, when they turned 3, they graduated. So then I had to find a different clinic that would provide ABA services for children 3 and up, and I found the one that they're using right now. And I basically said to myself, we're starting new, you know, don't bring your negativity or your thoughts from the last one to this one now that we were going to start. I was starting fresh. So we did that at first. The first session with Damien, I cried because I seen how frustrated he got because they were doing things, you know, the way they were supposed to. He wasn't used to any type of discipline, any type of routine, any type of anything like that. So of course he was gonna get mad. And I did get upset from seeing him cry and getting angry. So I shed a couple tears on the first session. But I didn't let that define ABA, you know, on the first session. I continued to do it. He continued to get frustrated because they did tell me it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And I knew so because we weren't strict on him. With anything, you know, we saw him as a baby because disabled because he couldn't do things, but then we're robbing him from his independence, you know. So I stuck to it. I was getting frustrated, I was getting upset only because I wasn't used to my son being challenged. And I'm glad I did because now I see a huge difference. Now he is communicating, now he's using sign language, now he's not frustrated all the time because nobody understands what he wants or what he's trying to say. My camera stopped recording. I can't remember what the last thing I said because I didn't even notice it wasn't recording. And I ended up getting my hair up. I was looking on the camera. I don't know why it looks so white. Because in person it doesn't. Maybe this mixture of either the lotion or primer or foundation has flashback. But as I was saying, if you're doubting ABA, I say give it a shot. You know, get out of your comfort zone. Us parents are supposed to be there for our kids, even when it's uncomfortable for us to do something. But if it benefits them, I mean, what could be more beneficial for us, you know, than doing something good for our kids? So, I mean, ABA I had a bad experience with ABA the first time around. Then the second time around, I mean, it's been great, you know. Just look around, find your options. Oh, I'm using the Wet n Wild cat suit, and it's in the shade Missy and Fierce, I guess. So that's my advice to you. Try anything you can to uplift your children. Don't keep them captured to being dependent. The most beautiful gift that you can give your child is that independency. And if you remember going back to a child or even your teenage years where all you wanted to do was drive or go out, you know, by yourself, or you know what I mean, like, don't rob your children from that independency. And don't take this personal. I'm not trying to attack the parents. I'm just trying to tell my story of, you know, how I see my kids growing from things like that. My son will also start seeing a therapist to help him with his ADHD, how to properly deal with it, or you know, with the how to deal with his emotions, how to properly let the steam out, you know. So I'm super excited for him to start that. I was nervous as well because I was like, what the heck are they gonna make him say, you know? But we have to let that fear of invasion of privacy, you know, just, they need help too. They're kids. Like, if we can't deal with our emotions, imagínate ellos. They're like little tornadoes walking around, and then we're still getting them in trouble for, you know, not knowing how to deal with their emotions, and us as parents not properly showing them how to deal with their emotions because we can't even do that. So I feel like we owe them that much, you know. Well, so this is the outcome of this makeup not tutorial, get ready with me. I didn't put lashes on because I can't tolerate them anymore, especially if it's just a whatever day. Nomás me las pongo cuando vamos a salir, which is never. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is the simple get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I might end this one. If I remember anything else of updates that has been happening to us, I will add them. And if this is the end, then I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our videos if you like them. Share them with anyone and everyone that you guys know. And I will see you guys on the next video.